Okay, we're live. I'm so glad that you all took time out of your busy schedules to join us today, to come forward and worship with us. We are Wosei Community Church of Sacramento and Oakland. And today we have a great messenger. Minister Alicia is going to be bringing us the message today. Uh-oh, something happened. All right.
That was me.
And our historical tribute is going all the way to Vietnam. So yes, Black people in Vietnam. How about that? I'd like to start out with a song, and it's congregational singing today, but we do have a great singer, Sister Sabrina Hawker, the songstress, is going to be providing some music for us as well. But in our worship folders on page 9, if you turn to page 9 in the worship folders, Minister Maat Oso Sawandi, the co-founder of Wosei Community, wrote this song in 1984. It's based upon a verse that comes out of Destruction of Black Civilization, which is one of our holy books, and it's called "We Are Children of the Sun." Let's stand and sing that.
I'd like to stand up.
Oh, stand up.
Okay, I really have a choir voice, not a lead voice, so we'll try to sing along. We are children of the sun. In every time we shall burn out. We were first upon the earth. When we are holy word. We were the first to look at life and ask the question why. We were the first to hear the answer of the Most High. We were the first to know the truth of reciprocity. We were the first to build a world of love and unity. We are children of the sun. You can out-sing me, it's okay. Every time we shall overcome. We were first upon the earth, and will be the last. Thanks for the holy word. We were the first to look at life and ask the question why. We were the first to hear and heed the answers of the Most High. We were the first to know the truth of reciprocity. We were the first to build a world of love and unity. We are the children of the sun. In every time we shall overcome. We were first upon the earth. Be the last, thanks the holy word. And will be the last, thanks the holy word. and will be the light that's the holy burn. And now, let us stand, sisters and brothers, and turn to page 2. Excuse me, I think it's page 1 in our worship folder. See where it says WOSE Community Affirmation? I would like, this is a call and response, so I'll start it off. We will know God's truth to be free and self-determined.
Creator, help us to remember the humanity, glory, and suffering of our ancestors, and to honor the struggle of our elders.
Let us strive to bring new vision and life to our people. Let there be peace and harmony among us.
Let us be loving, sharing, and creative. Let us work, study, and listen, so we may respect and excel our lives.
Grant us power, O Holy One, as we struggle to resurrect our hearts and our homeland.
We will raise our children according to the needs of our nation, with discipline, patience, devotion, and courage. We will strive to be living models for the direction of our people. We are a free people. We are children of God.
Okay, all right, you may take your seats. And now we have a very special treat, sisters and brothers. Our sister Sabrina will come now and give us a song.
Thank you. Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Good morning.
Good morning. Whenever I sing this song now, I think of that wonderfully magical day at WOSE last year called the Healiversary. And I said to Minister Imhotep, we're only gonna do this once a year, why? It was so powerful, if you were there, you know. And so I'd say the Creator, so many messages came through from the Creator that day, through the singing bowls, the harp, Sister Isali's presentation, and so much more. And so it really was about taking care of ourselves, right? So this song serves as a gentle reminder. I say it's a message from the Creator about taking care of ourselves.
Sure.
Okay. Any of you know me, I'm all for that as co-founder of African Americans for Balanced Health. Music, okay?
Yes, yes.
If you wanna. When the wind is free, take good care of yourself. You belong to me. Of yourself. You belong to me. Don't keep me. Or you get a pay. And you don't talk, you ain't no play. Don't play that. When you're on a spree, take care of yourself. You belong to me. You belong to me. But you can take good care of yourself. You belong to me. Belong to me. Don't sit on hornets' tails. Or there. Or you can play. He's been happy before. The creator has a working mind. He's been happy before. But if you're stepping close to the God, let your heart be free. Because you belong to me. From inside out, unconditionally. Take good care of yourself. You belong to me. Don't talk for my just. Let's take care of ourselves.
Right. Thank you, sister. Oh, you had to sneak in that food stuff. This is the president of African Americans for Balanced Health for years. And you know, it's their organization that turned me on to people like Dr. Sabi.
Yeah.
Dr. Sabi came and right here at KVIE.
Yeah.
And I remember that day, and he kept falling down on his knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would fall down as it, you know, as a floor like this, and he kept falling down on his knees. And I was thinking, oh, please don't let this old man crack his knees in front of me. And he would bounce back up, and that's how I found out about his healing nutrition and so many things. So you all have done a tremendous job, and that's a great thought. What's the title of that again?
It's really called, there's, you belong to me, but there's another title, Button Up Your Overcoat. It's written in like the 40s. But Nina Freelon sang it in the later days, more recent.
Right. I was talking to brother, I'm sorry, brother, what was your name again?
Isaiah.
Isaiah. I was talking to brother Isaiah this morning, and we somehow the subject came up about rock and roll, and I told him the origin of that. And then also Elvis Presley. You know, there's a brother, and me and Ed, we're gonna find that video. There's a brother that Elvis Presley copied everything that this brother did. You know, we're
Little Walter. Little Walter.
is it called is it Little Walter?
Yeah, Little Walter.
Well, okay. So brother can find that. The time now is for our historical tribute. And we think it's very important to keep at least 5 to 7 generations of our people's history alive in the minds and memory of our people. We want to show and demonstrate the hand of God moving throughout the history of the African people. We want to, we think it's very important because when our people were at their height is when they were closest to God. And so I don't know why I came up, I was led to this very odd topic of African presence in Cambodia and Vietnam.
Oh, yeah, I love that. I love this picture.
And you know, I was in a class one time and it was you know, there were some Vietnam veterans in the class and they were saying that when they were fighting in Vietnam, the Vietnamese soldiers and the Cambodian soldiers would say to them, "Brother, why are you fighting us?" You know, but now here, this woman, she's got a short fro and, you know, earrings. You know how we are with earrings.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to spend a little bit of time here. So you can go to this place, it's in Angkor Wat, and it's Bayon Temple, and you see these giant heads, Africoid features on the temples. Look at that guy.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Where?
This is in Cambodia.
At the Bayon.
And so here's another. It's really quite amazing.
It is.
You know, because we are trained from an early age not to appreciate big noses and thick lips and nappy hair.
Right.
But somebody put this on a temple. And you know what's interesting? The reason why I'm presenting this is because we really don't know how old this temple is. And we're going to get to that in just a few minutes. So here's some information about it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with it. This is the largest religious monument in the world. The temple stretches for more than 400 acres.
Ooh. That's big.
It is more than 3 times the size of the entire Vatican City. It is 300 times the size of an American football field. Taking out, so the person that I got this information from, and I'm going to show him a little bit later in the next couple of slides. So taking out the walking spaces and the empty land, the sheer area covered by stone is 10 million square feet.
Wow.
The tower, the central tower, is 213 feet tall. The weight of the stone blocks that make up the pyramid is 52 million tons.
Wow.
I put this in here. And actually people still come to this temple and worship there, the native people that live there now. And you see that little Buddha temple of Buddha. So that's a close-up of it. And I had another picture I was showing Ed, and he actually, you know, they actually show his hair more. And a lot of times when you see pictures of Buddha, they will have, they'll say the reason why Buddha's hair is like that is because Buddha was in meditation one day and the sun was beating down. And so the creator didn't want him to hurt his brain. So he caused snails to come up on his body
Yeah.
and land on his head, and that's the reason why his hair is like. I mean, that's a plausible explanation, right? Anyway, here's some, this is a female deity there, and now this is in Vietnam, but here you have Brahma, Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu. Some more people in Vietnam. And actually this, unfortunately, this picture got cut off. There's like 3 sisters here, you know, showing that we were there. Now, I was watching this video. What's the name of that guy? Praveen Mohan. Yes, Praveen Mohan. And he was talking about these temples and statues. And he showed this picture. And this is Surya. And Surya represents the sun. Actually, it's Surya. You know, in Hindu religion, that is the word for the sun. And there's actually a Surya meditation. And then underneath, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 figures. These represent the 9 planets. Now, Galileo and all those other guys, they found out late, but this goes back many more thousands of years. And I included this guy's picture because he kind of looks like these guys sitting underneath. And this is the brother, his name is Ralph Yarl. And you know, he was the guy, he was 16, he was shot and wounded by a homeowner after he mistakenly went to the wrong house. What Ed, he shot him through the door?
Through the door and the screen door.
Shot him through the
When he
door.
started walking up the sidewalk.
So
He waited until he got in front of the door and then he shot. He's gonna graduate next month.
Fortunately, he is, but when I look at his features and I look at these guys underneath, maybe it's just me. But yes, go ahead.
I wanted to share something. My late partner was a Hindu Brahmin,
Mhm.
and he had shared with me that India was once below Africa near Egypt. And when the tectonic plate shifted, India had moved over. The Hindu Brahmins, that they're part of the caste system, but they're the scholars. They were the priests to kings. That's where yoga was started. It came from the Hindu Brahmins. But he very much believed that Indian culture came from Africa. That India was once a part of that.
Thank you for sharing that. I have one more of an addition to that. And that is when the British brought in Hindu soldiers in Egypt, and they came to a temple of trying to think of the Het Haru. You know, she has a cow and horns on her head. The soldiers started worshiping there. And so the officers were saying, why, what are you guys doing? And they told the British soldiers, this is one of our deities. So yes, indeed, there is a connection. Thank you for sharing. This is the brother that, I mean, this is the gentleman, Praveen Mohan, and here he's pointing out there are 9. This is the sun. This represents the planets. So just a few more pictures here. Angkor Wat in Cambodia. Here, these guys look like they have cornrows.
Interesting. Mhm.
And I really like this. It's almost like a mugshot.
It's a spiritual mugshot.
It's a spiritual mugshot. And the people, the present day people, that you wouldn't necessarily say that they were Africoid, you know, if you see them today, but they wear crowns like these right now. Okay. And these women here,
Yeah, the women are part of
Bhakti, yes. And this is Vishnu, the preserver. All right, now, as we conclude, because I want to make room for our messenger. She's coming with a powerful message this morning. Here you see this figure riding on an elephant. He's riding on this elephant, and the elephant has 4 tusks. Yeah, I've never seen an elephant with 4 tusks, and neither have you. You know, what is that? Well, it turns out you can see 2 tusks on the left side, 2 tusks on the right side. We don't have elephants like that today. 4 tusked elephants existed a long time ago. Experts say these 4 tusked elephants became extinct 2 million years ago. I can't pronounce these, but it goes back to the early Pleistocene, thank you, around 2 to 1 million years ago. And it ended 800,000 years ago. Why would they put that in their temple? How would they even know that they were there? As we conclude, in one of our holy books, 2000 Seasons, it says, this is the very first page. It says, we're not a people of yesterday. Do they ask how many seasons we have flowed from our beginning till now? We shall point them to the proper beginning of their counting. On a clear night, when the light of the moon has blinded the ancient woman and her 7 children, on such a night, tell them to go alone into the world. Have them count first 1, then 7, then after 7, all the stars visible to their eyes alone. After that beginning, they will be ready for the sand. Let them seek the sea line. They will not have to ponder where to start. Have them count the sand. Let them count it grain from grain. And after they have reached the end of that counting, we shall ask them not to number the raindrops in the ocean, but with the wisdom of the aftermath, have them ask us again, how many seasons have we flowed since our people were unborn? We go back so many thousands of years. I believe that they know, but they just don't want to say. You know, they know, but they just want to say. The worship service today is livicated, not dedicated, but livicated to the African presence in ancient Cambodia and Vietnam. May their names, their teachings, their guidance, their temples live long in the memory of our people. Ashe.
Was it Brother Renault Rashid that brought all that to our attention? Was it him?
Brother Renoko Rashid was one of the people that brought many of those things. Brother Renoko, Brother Wayne Chandler,
James
Brunston. Yes, there are a lot of people. Actually, you can go back to John G. Jackson. He had if you go and look at his work, Man, God, and Civilization, he has a chapter on it.
Okay.
You know, so, and then there are many researchers, some that we know and some that we don't know that have studied that subject, but it's almost inexhaustible. But thank you for asking that question. All right, now we have enough talking. We're going to have some more beautiful singing. We're going to ask our sister Sabrina to come forward and sing. And I want to apologize to you on Zoom. I'm trying to get the sound right for you. And each machine has a different setting for the noise cancellation. So I'm trying to get it right. Charge it to my head and not my heart. We're trying to get it right so you can hear it well on Zoom.
This song honors a great legend and ancestor now. Kirk Smith,
Wow.
yes. It's called People Get Ready. It's considered a spiritual. He, of course, brought many songs to us that were uplifting and inspiring. Honestly, this one I thought it would be good. Yeah. Of course, some of you know this. Feel free to sing with me.
People get ready, there's a train coming. Don't need no baggage, you just get on board. It's my music. I'm gonna start this. This is why you bring back that flashbacks. Let's try this again. People get ready. There's a train coming. I'm gonna sing it anyway. Don't need no package. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. Don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. It's pretty low. So people get ready for the train to Jordan, picking up passengers. Coast to coast.
Hey.
Open the doors and those love the most. So people get ready. Here we go. There ain't no room for the hopeless sinners who have heard on the side just to save his own. Believe me now. Open the door. Yeah. And it's a train. We just get on board. So fine, don't need no tickets. But I think I'm in wrong. We just coming. They coming round.
That's it. I'll need for that, but,
Well, it'd be like that.
we'll bring it back another time
Yeah.
with a better flash. I think that flash drive.
All right,
It's
thank
not
you.
It's not the system, it's the drive. That's happened once before. Yeah. Yeah.
Sisters and brothers, thank you for bearing with us on Zoom with the sound. It sounded great here live, and there's a little antidote about that song. You've heard the song "One Love" by Bob Marley. Actually, if you look on the original albums, it says "One Love, People Get Ready," and some of the lyrics from "People Get Ready" are included in the song "One Love." It's because I'm geeked out on reggae music, so that's why. All right. I'm going to ask Sister Michelle to come and lead us in the Litany of Sacrifice. If you would please stand and turn to page 2.
All right. So remember in the litany, you all will get a chance to be the community. So let me get started and we will get to your part. Let's see. Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call upon the God of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. And gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We praise your name, O Amen, for it is good. We shall
To strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Kujitagalia, self-determination. We shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our communities together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Ujima, cooperative economics. Together we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together profit from them.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Kuumba, creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it.
Imani, faith. We shall believe with all our hearts in our God, our people, and in the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Amen Ra.
So I'm hoping those on Zoom have had a chance to take a look at the different methods by which you can contribute. Thank you all. Please have a seat. And so besides in-person donations, you can donate online. You can also mail in your donations. And for those present today, see us afterwards. We can tell you more about the online and mail donations. But on Zoom, they are seeing the information right before them. And we could just take a moment in which to share in a prayer of giving, of sacrifice. Please bow your heads. Oh, Amen Ra. We are here before you today at this time to pledge what we can in the support of Wolsey Community Church. We thank those who are able to give today. We thank those also who will give tomorrow and in the days coming. And we send extra blessings to those who wish to give, but they may not be able to do so. In giving, we know that we make our church strong.
Yes.
And in giving to our church, we are giving to one another.
Yes.
It is community by which we'll say stands. strong, sometimes silent, but always with its people. In giving, we must cherish what we provide to our church, to our God. Or else, how can we look in the mirror and say, did I make my Black community better today? And by which ways have I done this? Just like the tools in a box, giving comes in many different ways, many different sizes, for many different people. And we must cherish all that give from the heart. The amount makes no difference, even though paying the rent is important.
Yes.
But we must understand that when we can give, we do give. So I bless those who in their heart have made the sacrifices so many times before, and bless them all and all for all the times in the future that they will. Be with Rose, give to Rose. They are Rose. Amen. Ashe.
Ashe. Met this young lady a few years ago. And it was just in high school then. And then I saw her a few years later with her and her husband and their two young daughters. She is such a powerful individual. Quiet, but powerful at the same time. Minister Alicia, I believe that she's actually the wisest among us. I know that's a lot to put up here. I really believe that. Sisters and brothers, let us prepare our hearts and minds to hear the message from our sister, Minister Alicia Lovelady Tuesday.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings.
So while I'm getting situated, I'm gonna definitely turn on my my timer here, because with this we can go all day. And I know you'd prefer to go out and get some sun. So we will, I'm going to turn on my timer so that I don't break the timing bank, as you will. So, as an intro, I'm just, when I come up here, I really am just letting you know what Most High is giving to me and what's illuminating in my life, because a lot of times we walk down similar paths. We encounter similar things as we go along our journey. So recently, as in the past year or so, Most High has been talking to me a lot about community. And God's putting on my spirit a keen sight and awareness so that when I actually see community, it kind of illuminates to me. And I'm like, that's quite interesting. So that's community. Because sometimes we don't necessarily see it. We don't necessarily see it for what it is. Community is as its definition is people coming together because of their shared interests, their shared passions, their shared locations or experiences. People coming together because of something that they have in common. That something in common creates a level or a degree of unity. So common, unity, community. So what I want to do is give us our freedom writing right now, and it's coming from Destruction of Black Civilization. This is my edition. Okay, destruction of Black civilization. We are on page 330. And I will read that to you as soon as I get my glasses on so I can see my page. That's always the thing these days. And down in paragraph 3, it says, for the Blacks who are most victimized everywhere, their own situation can be radically changed in a program that regards money only as the means by which they can do the things that must be done through cooperation. For the kind of new cooperative organization we have been discussing will be different from those now existing in fundamental aims and objectives. The concept here is cooperation as the humane law of life, total and actual unity, brotherhood and sisterhood throughout the organization, and not just economic cooperatives such as stores, markets, housings, farms, etc., important as these will be. And we say this united movement toward a more humane economic system in the midst of a dog-eat-dog, money-mad, competitive society will be a movement in the direction of real civilization. The challenging question is whether Blacks of the 20th century can recover enough of the vision, strength, and will of their forefathers who built the Great Pyramids to undertake the task of this present. Ashe.
Sure.
And we're also going to read in the Hosea, page 91, is the intro in the Book of Declaration of Virtues. And I looked over the Book of Declaration of Virtues, and the interesting thing, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, I'll make that comment a little later, but the interesting thing is how each and every one of the Declaration of Virtues have to do with a person's relationship to their community. So in the Book of Declarations of Virtues, as stated earlier, the heart of the ancient Egyptian ethics and spiritual striving is Maat. Ancient Egyptian ethics and spirituality, like all African ethics and spirituality, have and stress a practical dimension. Righteousness is real only in person and social practice. Ma'at then is a social as well as spiritual task for which the reward is an enjoyable and beautiful life in the community on earth and a spiritual life in the heavens as a living God. In a word, Ma'at is both a personal and social task and promise and reward for completing it. Ashe. So today our title is, what's so great about creating community?
All right.
So here at Will Say, our vision is building a people and creating community. And it's funny because when you're talking to people, a lot of people don't get it. They're like, yeah, but what should we be doing? What is the thing that we are going for? Are we gonna build a school? Are we gonna help the homeless? Are we gonna make sure that, that there's a grocery store in our communities? What should we be doing? The desire, I suppose, is a visible thing to track and keep. But I have to reiterate that our vision is to build a people and create community. And for over 40 years, Will State has been doing just that. Sometimes you don't see community even when we are experiencing it. We see things sometimes as isolated incidents and not as a result of community. Most High began working with me little by little. Because me personally, I'm an introvert. I am perfectly happy sitting in a chair, reading a book. I'm perfectly happy going downstairs into a small kitchen and making tea and sitting and enjoying it. I'm perfectly happy going to my mother's house on a visit, going in the backyard, digging in the dirt. I don't necessarily thrive off the fanfare. I don't necessarily want to go to a place where there's thousands of people and be able to mix and mingle. Some people thrive off of that. I have a friend who does. Every time she gets in the middle of a whole bunch of people, she's here and she's there and she's talking, she's giggling, she's having the greatest of times. And while she's doing that, I'm sitting and relaxing, maybe checking on one of my children. And I'm just as happy doing that as she is doing what she's doing. So I don't necessarily know about being or desire to be the center of attention. So being an introvert, though, doesn't mean that I can't talk your ear off, because I can't. But Most High is showing me, little by little, the benefits and the blessings of community. And that is community in its inward sanctum. My children go to a school that stresses community. And so when you go there, you kind of, when you're getting ready to go there, you have an orientation. And they tell you during that orientation, if you're one of those parents who just want to drop their kids off and then pick their kids up, and that's it, maybe some other place might be best for you. Because here we require for you to be present. We require for you to work. We require for you to be involved. And so a lot of times being there, I get to see community in action. And it's funny because it doesn't always dawn on you when it's happening. But if you can sit and think, where the Most High illuminates it to you, this is what this is community, you kind of get it. So as we move around, I've been able to see a million things. And one of those is sometimes mothers, as we all have children there at the school, mothers will get pregnant and have babies. And at that time, the community organizes a meal train for them to make sure that that mother is eating. Or if someone loses a loved one, they will organize a meal train or something to help, someone to help the family. Some way of showing that the community is there supporting it.
Sure.
And as well as we here at WOSE, I have seen so many things. When I decided to join here and become and initiate myself into WOSE, you are to acknowledge what gifts you have. And then say, this is what I'm going to use within this organization, within this community, to help with the community, to build the community up. Because a lot of times we don't necessarily see our gifts and talents as something important. I remember one day, and I'm getting way off my notes, just letting you know. I remember one day, one of the sisters here, Temperance, we were talking, and she was talking about being collective and being able to give what we can. And I was like, well, I don't really, there's nothing that I could really teach because I really don't know. This is a long time ago. And she said, don't you make things? And I was like, yeah. She was like, well, that's one of your gifts that you can offer to the community right there. And I was like, well, I just do it for a hobby. I just do it for fun. A lot of times we don't think of the things that we do as being important, being of value. But you know what? Most High has given within each and every person a gift, a talent, something that they are able to do. That when they are gathered around in a community, they can give that thing. And you know what? The community will be so much more richer, so much more blessed to have you given that one thing that you just think, oh, it's nothing. A lot of times my children think that the things that they do, it's nothing. My son plays an instrument. He thinks, oh, it's just nothing. We can just get there and just, no, you can just get there and just play the notes. But everybody can't do that. But he doesn't get it because it comes so easy. And I have children who play sports. They think nothing of it. I'm just running or I'm just playing basketball. But do you understand? Not everybody can do that with the greatest ease and talent that you can do it. And so those things that we are given, we just think, oh, this is simple. This is just me. This is just what I do. But when those little things are input into a community, it grows and it's sharing. And it's one person can do real math, and another person can do real art, and another person can speak life into you, and another person has the gift that helps. When every time you look around and somebody needs help, there that person is. And a lot of us don't even see that as being something. We think, oh, I don't have a PhD, or I don't have a ton of money in the bank, because that's what the Western society puts as a value. But our African people put every person as a value.
Sure.
Every good characteristic as a value. Relationship is at the heart of community. We start out having a few things in common, and to some degree, we are unified under that banner. But as we problem solve together, as we fellowship together, as we sing and worship together, we build bonds for relationship. Then when a child graduates, we can celebrate as a community the success of that child. When your son is growing into a man before your eyes, you can have the elder men come and sit him down and put their arms around him and speak words of guidance and love to them.
Sure.
You have the women, they honor your daughters. They teach them and they show them that their beauties and their talents are important. This is community. It's community in action. No, we didn't build the store on the corner to be the best and most thriving economic store. And yes, that would be great. But when the elders come to teach the children, when they're there for them, when they support them, and when they grow up knowing that they are held by a community, it's even that much more important.
Sure.
When you go through something and you come to your community and you ask for spiritual support, like in the Wose community, you can call Sister Sawaswati and she'll put your name down on the list, and you know you have people praying for you. And a lot of times people throw that out and they dismiss it as something that's not nothing, but you know what? It's real. Because I remember the day and the time, well, not the actual time, but I remember the day that I realized that my mother was not only praying for me, but she was praying for each and every one of my children. And it blew me away. Not that she didn't care about us, but the fact that she was taking her time to beseech the Most High for the furtherance and movement of and health and wellness of not just myself, but my children.
Sure.
Because Most High can give you a covering that not anybody else can give you. Most High can give you a strength that not anybody else can give you. Most High can give you a protection that not anybody else can give you. I was just talking to my children on the way in here about sometimes mom and dad's not going to be there. There will come a time. And sometimes your friends are not going to be there. There will come a time. But there is never anywhere that you can go, never any rock that you can hide under, never any plane that you can get on, that the Most High is not there,
All
right
right.
there.
All right.
with-
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
Because my mom is mostly in the house. When you call her, she's next to the phone. She sits next to the phone all the time. So when I call her and she doesn't pick up, I'm worried. I'm like, oh my gosh, my mom didn't pick up. What's going on? What's happening? Because you call and you always expect your mom to be there. Or you call and you always expect your best friend to be there on the other end of the line. My best friend always picks up for me. But you know what? Sometimes that's not the case. And it could be the time when you really need them. Not a time when, oh, mom, I'm on my way over, or oh, mom, I'm doing this or doing, you really need your mom, or you really need to talk to your friend because something is going on catastrophic in your life and you're calling and they're not picking up. You can call 2 or 3 friends sometimes
Yes. Yes.
and nobody will pick up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were like, what's going on? And nobody will pick their phone. But guess what? You say, Most High, I need you right now, at this moment. In the Hosea, it talks about being surrounded on the battlefield by all of these people who's trying to get you, they're after you. And all of your chariots, all your horses, all your 10,000s of men and soldiers are gone.
Mhm.
They've deserted you. You're standing there by yourself, and who do you cry out to? You cry out to the Most High.
Yes. Yes.
And then from there, all you've done is succeeded.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
it's not all glory and honor though. I'm going in and out my head, sorry. But just letting you know that Most High will always be there with you. And when you're in a community or in an organization, don't think that things have to be perfect. Because the schools are not perfect.
Yeah.
No school is perfect. My daughter doesn't like the school she goes to. But I tell her, even though it's different kids, it's still the same kids. It's the time of life. It's the time of life for them to do certain things, like act up, talk back to teachers.
Yeah.
It's that time for them to push buttons,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And no matter where you go, you're going to encounter the same things. So where you are, find your tribe, find your community. It's just like when you get out into the workplace, you get out into the real world. Our survival is finding our tribe, finding our community, and working inside of that community for a better life, for a better space, for a better outlook. When we are alone in our own selves, I don't usually have a problem with that, but I know that our power is diminished. The things that you can do, you think that you can do it all by yourself because nobody can be trusted anyway. Every time I call on this person to do that, they let me down. So I'm just gonna do everything by myself. You'll get far, but not as far as you could if you really worked with your community. If you really got in and made relationship within your community.
Sure.
So these problems are there because people are problematic. People have issues. People have other things going on besides you. And that's one thing that sometimes we have to understand. We are not the only ones with the issue or a problem. But what happens is, in the United States of America, since that's where I live, we have this thing where it's about me.
Me.
And whatever goes around has to do with me. Therefore, I'm gonna have a purse that has my name on it. I'm gonna have a website with my name on it. I'm gonna have everything with my name on it because it's about me. So when we go out and we make relationships and friends and comrades with each other, we get kind of bent out of shape when something isn't about us. Because we don't have the mentality of the best for the most. What is the best for the most amount of people? What is the agreement that most people can work with? It may not be my idea, but I can get bent out of shape about it because this is going to work for the group. So I have to take myself aside and say, okay, let's work on this. Because sometimes you get in an organization, you get in a group, you're in a family, whatever it is, and everyone says this would be best for everyone if we do it this way. But that wasn't your idea, so you back yourself about, if you guys ain't doing it the way that I said, then I'm out. And then your contribution is not there for the community. It's not there for the family. It's not there for the people. And what you could have brought to whatever situation it was will be lost. Nobody would know. So we need more love. Not that we cannot or should not hold each other accountable, but we need more love. Meaning thinking the best of each other. Knowing that we are here in this place, all remembering. We are all putting together fragments of pieces of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Finding pieces of our scattered higher self and putting them all back together. Community is an African way of life. Putting the best for the majority above the best for the individual. Having a little, but when everyone shares their little, God makes it a lot, and all the hunger can be satisfied. Many times you'll look in the Hosea and you'll see that the things that they say as blessings are not necessarily a blessing for them personally, but it's a blessing to see that the hungry are fed. It's a blessing for me to see that someone now has a house. It may not have been my new mansion that came up, but you know what? So-and-so that I used to see on the street all the time now has shelter. That's a
Shay.
blessing for me. When you look at the Declaration of Virtues, you see all the time, each one of these things have to do with relationship and relationship to the community. For example, the first one will say, I was one truly bedridden and had no fault, who gave bread to the hungry and clothes to the naked. I put an end to pain and erased wrongdoing. I buried the blessed, supported the aged, and satisfied the needs of the have-nots. I was a shelter for the child and help to the widow, one who gave rank even to an infant. The next one will say, my patience turned my foes into friends and my enemies into allies. The next one will say, I was the model of kindness, not kindness to ourselves, kindness to each other. The next one will say, I gave bread to the hungry, clothes to the naked, and brought the boatless to dry land. Each and every one of these in the Declaration of Virtues doesn't have anything to do with me sitting in a corner reading a book. Doesn't have anything to do with me enjoying my tea by myself. Sure, it creates an environment of peace because then I don't have anybody opposing me. If I want to sit and read my book and be to myself, because I do whatever I want. But it's in those oppositions and in those moments of pressure that we grow as human beings,
Shay.
that we create a place of peace in the midst of a storm. Because that's not easy to do, and we don't want to skim over those things. Because it's not easy not to be caught up when there's a storm.
All right.
That's not a simple thing to do, to be at peace and be at one with yourself and say, I know who I am, and stand in your power in quiet when someone is in your face, causing mischief, talking crazy, yelling at you, calling you all sorts of names. Can you be at peace with them? In that moment, and sometimes it's hard because, honey, I'm from the hood too. And I tell you, that is not, we cannot, that is not a thing. But when you have put yourself in a position to where you're in the midst of other people, it is your growth of character that will have you stand there in your silent power while those others talk themselves into the grave.
Mhm.
They can talk, they can do whatever it is that they're gonna do. But when you stand in your silent power, they just gonna, there's nothing for them to push against. There's nothing for them to shove against. There's nothing for them to fight with if you're not fighting them. Okay, have your thoughts, have your opinions about me. I know who I am. I'm standing in my peace, and you're not taking that away.
That's right.
There's just no way. And so these things happen when we are in relationship with other people. These things happen when we are in community with other people. Just because you're in a spiritual community doesn't mean nobody will get in your face. That doesn't mean that. That doesn't equate that. Many people go to church and they think that everybody there is supposed to be tip top and perfect. But honey, let me tell you, you will find some very interesting people walking through church doors. They will have very interesting things about what they want to say about you and your family and whatever it is. I walked through a church door as a young woman, not this church, a different one. Before my butt hit the seat, there was an elder woman tapping on my shoulder, telling me that I don't like your hair.
What? So nerd.
Exactly. I was a young person. She was an elder, quite an elder, older than anybody in this room. I did not have my butt in the seat before there was an attack on just my visual appearance. Now, as an elder, That's deplorable. That was a teenager at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm telling you is that when you have a community that takes your daughters and wraps them up and tells them they're beautiful,
Yes.
acknowledges their gifts and their talents,
Yes. Yes.
that's something to be, I'm saying right here. When you have a community that sees your sons grow up and they go to their events and they sit with them and they say, young brother, let me tell you what's going on. I'm saying right here. Because your experience can be very different within any community that you're in. You have to find a community that's right for you and that you can contribute to, and that your contributions are being seen. All of those things. It's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing, it's just what needs to happen. And when you're inside of a community, give. And I'm not just talking about money, because anybody can give money. Anybody can walk in and give $1 million. Well, maybe not anybody, because I didn't, but I'm just saying. Money has its own vibration and has its own place, but I'm talking about actually giving. Like giving of your time, giving of your talents.
Yes.
Those are the real things of value. And so we have to understand that we here on earth, this is the place that we are. And earth is a learning place. We have come here to teach lessons and to learn lessons. Our spirits have come inhabiting this body to teach lessons and to learn lessons. I am not here for a fashion show. I am not here to tell you that I have the biggest house on the planet.
Yeah.
I'm not here to drive the latest and fanciest and most expensive car.
Mm-hmm.
I am here to teach and learn so that my spirit can learn its perfection.
Yeah.
So that I can ignite those things that are beautiful within each and every person that I come across. That's what we're here for. That's not what we're told we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what we are here for.
Community.
Community and learning within that community. We are here for the perfection of our spirit, which cannot be done alone in a vacuum, which is why we all have a human need of relationship and community. And Maat rests in the center and the foundation of it all. The vision of building a people and creating community is a mighty one. Maat is expressed through community. Maat is expressed through truth, justice, balance, propriety, order, harmony, and reciprocity through the actions that we do within our community. Having our brothers and sisters' problems ours to solve together, making our collective vocation the building and developing of our community to restore our people to our traditional greatness. That's our community work. That's Maat within the community. Our people were great because of community. Our people were great because of community and their focus on community. They're focused on bearing one another's burdens. They're focused on let's work together to do this. I'm sure somebody was tired in building the pyramid. I'm sure somebody didn't get, like, we don't have to think that I don't know what the separation between a human being from now and a human being from back then. I'm sure there was lazy human beings back then, just like there are lazy human beings now. I'm sure that there are night owls then, just like there are night owls now. And that didn't want to get up in the early morning and go build a pyramid. I'm sure there were people back then that didn't want to sit there and haul rock or haul stone or whatever you know how those things were built. They didn't feel like sitting around in their meditative state and lifting stones with their spirits. Maybe they didn't eat enough the day before. Maybe they were fasting and they were tired that morning and didn't feel like spiritually lifting stones. to create pyramids. But you know what? They knew the work before them. That everyone in the community, no matter what it was, no matter who it was going to be gathering and working on this project. So they got up and they went and sat and meditatively moved those stones.
Ooh,
This is what they did. Because that they knew of community. It wasn't about the one person's self. Everybody is important.
Shit.
Everybody is important in their individual selves. But as that individual, we have to understand also the collective. And how we can collectively build, and how we can do things with one another, and how there's no spiritual movement without relationship with each other. I'm going a little long, but I have one story to tell, and I will tell this story very, very quickly. One day, a long time ago, there were 3 warriors. Those 3 warriors were walking for 2 days straight and didn't have a really good meal. They saw a very small town in the distance, and they got excited. Oh my goodness, there should be people there. We should be able to get a hot meal. They were Jews. They were like, oh, finally, a meal. Because they saw where other people were and expected somebody would be able to create a meal for them. So when they got to the town, the little tiny village, they were poor. They were a poor village. Their crops weren't doing so good. They had little bits of pieces in their own house to try to feed their own family. And so when the warriors got there, they were like, oh, these warriors are here. I need to, like we do when the Jehovah's Witness comes, we need to turn the lights out and just like,
Don't speak English.
okay, so that's what they did. They kind of hid around like, we don't have anything to give. I'm hiding my onions under my bed because it's just me and these kids need to get fed. So they came through, they were knocking on doors. Some doors didn't open at all. The doors that did open, they said, we don't have any food. We don't have no nothing. An old man came out of his house and told those warriors, you need to keep going down the road because nobody here has food for you. We are poor people and we have nothing to give. So the warriors sat and they thought, and they said, you know what? We're gonna make soup. We're gonna make a stone soup. And he said, a stone soup? And they said, yes. So what I need is a big giant pot. I need wood and lots of water. So he thought, and some people started peeking around. Why is the old man talking to these warriors? You know he ain't got no food. And so as time went on, the people brought out some wood, some water, and the head warrior put a stone inside the boiling water. And everybody was coming out from their houses like, why is this, what's going on in that pot? And they said, is this soup gonna be good? And then it's, stone soup is the best soup. But you know what? Stone soup tastes really good with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. So someone way in the back said, I don't have anything, but I do have salt and pepper. And so they went to their house and came back with the salt and pepper. And they put the salt in and they put the pepper in and the cook tasted it and said, you know what? It's a little better, but you know what? I remember having this stone soup a while ago and it tasted really good with carrots. So someone way on the other side said, I have a few carrots if it's gonna make the stone soup taste any better. So they went to their house and they brought forth some carrots and the cook chopped them up and put them inside the soup. So they said, is the soup really good? So they tasted it and they said, it's getting better. But you know what? Last week I had this soup and it tasted really good with a few potatoes. And someone close by said, I do have a few potatoes. So they went to their house and they brought the potatoes and they cut up the potatoes and put it in the soup. And then he tasted it again. Tastes so much better. And then one of the other warriors said, you know what I like in stone soup? Cabbage. Cabbage is my favorite in stone soup. So someone, a child, said, my mom has some cabbage. And the mother looked at him like, but then we went to the house and got the cabbage and brought it and the cook chopped it up and put it in the soup. So everyone in the village had a little piece of something and they brought it out and the cook chopped it up and put it in the soup. And everyone was like, is the soup done yet? Smells really good. See, everybody had done that except for the old man. The old man was like, I ain't want no parts. So he said, you know what would be the best thing in the world? Is if this soup had onions. And everybody was looking around and they said, no, not any onions. You got onions? I ain't got no onions. You got onions? No onions. And everybody looked at the old man. We know brother got onions because he's the onion farmer. So they looked at him and he said, okay. So he goes into his house and he grabs some onions and they chop them up and they put them in the soup. And everybody is smelling that good soup. And then finally the soup is done and everybody is with the bowl. And the warriors are scooping out the soup. And everybody that day got so full. Oh my goodness, the soup was the best soup they had ever tasted. Because everyone had a hand in creating that soup. All from a stone soup. Just like us in the community.
Yes.
We might not think that we have anything to give, but Most High has given us something. And that one thing we can come and offer to the community. And inside that community, it's going to create a great soup.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's give her another, Thank you, Minister, for that enlightening message. Maat is the task and the reward, and stone soup. Everybody has some ingredients they can put in to make this community, and community is not something in a vacuum. It's happening all around us all the time. We just need to pause to recognize that it's happening, observe it. Give thanks for that. We extend the invitation now to you. The message has been proclaimed in a powerful and magnificent way. And if those of you that would like to join us, we invite you to come now. Those of you that are on Zoom are welcome to join us. And we used to sing this song. Let's sing it. I'm not sure how it's going to come across on Zoom. Come and go with us. We are following the way. Come and go with us. We are following the way. Come and go with us. We are following the way. On the rock. For self-hatred, no self-hatred. We are following the way. No self-hatred. We are following the way. No self-hatred. We are following the way. Amen. Please remain standing and let us form a circle as we close our service today. Want to thank our songstress, Sister Sabrina.
Yeah.
I know that Sister Saraswati has sent the prayer video, and that will be played as at the conclusion of this service. Sister Michelle has also brought some stone soup. Hey, hey, hey. All right. Yeah, that's what happens. So one day you're going to need her. All right. So Sister Michelle has brought some vitals for us to take after service. Glad everyone could come and join and to be a part. The next time we're going to meet in person will be the 5th Sunday in May. It's going to be a Vico Sunday. And so we're going to be right here in this place. So is it June? Is it June? Okay, thank you. All right, June. Well, there you have it. What's that song? How's that song? Lift every voice and sing till let us rejoice. The sky, let it resound like sing a song. The day that the darkness has dawned, sing a song. And hope that the present has brought. Facing the sun. Let our joy victory.
One has presented us before the throne on high. Let them empower us to be one people.
One people.
With one aim.
One name.
One destiny.
One destiny.
One love.
One God. One heart.
One God.
One God.
Let's call upon the name of that one God as our ancestors and elders have done for countless times and for time immemorial. Let us all say.
You are the most beautiful people on the face of this earth.